The postseason just ended, and immediately we go to the silly season. Never a bad time to dissect a juicy rumor. One flew into our missile defense system recently. It came across our screen here. It involves Lamar Jackson. Now, if you were to make a big board on who's going to get the most airtime between now and when the NFL returns in September for regular season games, it would be a neck-and-neck race between Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson. But this particular monologue all about Lamar and whether or not he will find a new home. He currently is part of the Baltimore Ravens, but probably not for long. Now, if you didn't see this, and maybe not, we've learned that a new suitor has emerged, hot and heavy, coming in from the top rope with the atomic elbow, the Atlanta Falcons. They're all hot and bothered. They want Lamar Jackson, who currently is part of the Ravens, to come play in Atlanta. Now, chatter has Atlanta going all in to bring in the former MVP, bring him to Georgia. Jackson is expected to be franchise tagged, and that means at that point the Ravens will have to decide what they want to do. It's going to take some wheeling and dealing to get this done, and let us discuss the question. The way too soon Maller monologue on the future of Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson being courted by the Falcons. Are you in or are you out on this? So I am all in. I've got Family Diner, Slippery, and Big Bowl, but not the Super Bowl. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make some dirty birds is what we're going to make. So, Atlanta. I have no skin in the game. I have no allegiance to the Atlanta Falcons, but that is a franchise that is a ghost ship. They are lacking the wow factor. They're zombies on the NFL landscape. You talk about a faceless franchise. The team affectionately known as the Dirty Birds have assembled a hodgepodge of nothingness, as a former sportscaster said back in the day, trading for Lamar, bringing Lamar Jackson in from Baltimore, would give the owner, the Home Depot guy, Arthur Blank, something that he desperately wants, that he craves. Now, what is that? Well, that would be dinner reservations at a family diner. The diner is named Relevancy. It's Relevancy Diner. That is a diner that the Falcons have not dined at in several years. As the calendars keep piling up here, Atlanta would be back in business. They'd be back on the NFL map, and all they have to do is acquire Lamar Jackson. That's it. Easier said than done. But there would be a little bit of buzz around the Falcons. It's part of the package that Lamar Jackson brings, and we know that Arthur Blank already shot his shot, and he missed when trying to get the creepy quarterback Deshaun Watson last season. That turned out to be a brick house. And so now, back at it again, right back to the frying pan one more time. Now, page 2. You going to go thumbs up or thumbs down on Lamar Jackson's status in Baltimore being on thin ice with the Ravens? So I'm going thumbs up on this one. I got thumbs up on this. You look at all the key indicators, which is what we do here behind these microphones, bunkered down in the middle of the night. And all of the key indicators, and you know this if you've paid attention, are all pointing the same direction. Bad blood Baltimore. This is a squabble. It is a dispute, maybe a domestic dispute if you want to go that direction. But we have a great divide in between the Ravens and Lamar. And what is my evidence? All right. Now, as we understand it, the Ravens, who have just been hiring different coaches, filling out the Harbaugh staff, some changes that were made, including the offensive coordinator, but they interviewed a bunch of different offensive coordinator candidates. They chose one, but they would not guarantee, the Ravens, that Lamar Jackson would be the quarterback of the team next season. Now, you could say they can't guarantee that because of injury, because of this, that, or the other thing, but they wouldn't guarantee he'd be on the roster next season. That is a dead giveaway. That is a dead giveaway. Now, we know that Lamar is upset. The team did not offer him the fully guaranteed forever package that his heart desires. And Baltimore officials suspecting Lamar Jackson is guilty of malfeasance, what he did last year. And we talked about it on these airwaves during the end of the regular season and into the postseason, that the team determined he had a minor injury and Lamar milked it for all it was worth. In the military, you would get court-martialed. They call it malingering if you do what Lamar is accused of doing. But in the NFL, nothing like that happens. Now, is it true that Lamar was greatly exaggerating his injury status to make the Ravens suffer the agony of defeat without him, sending a message across the bow, if you will? Now, it sure looks that way from the outside, and it is a slippery, slippery, slippery slope, because once you lose that trust, you know what happens next? Ding, 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 ding. That's right. Splitsville. So the odds are very low that they can work out, the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, a nice peace treaty. The odds are extremely low on that. All right, so last word here. In terms of the money for Lamar Jackson, how can Lamar Jackson get a massive contract? I'm talking bigger than Deshaun Watson, the creepy quarterback in Cleveland. So I've done some arithmetic on this. I've crunched the numbers. He's got to use some kind of blunt object, a baseball bat, a crowbar, to escape from the Ravens. That's the first step. And next, you have to serve up a big bowl. I'm not talking about the Super Bowl. I'm talking about a big bowl of Lucky Charms. And that involves playing footsie under the table, the four-leaf clover, marshmallow delight, however you want to say it there. But send those pheromones to trigger the response from a team like the Falcons that is desperate. And Lamar, there's two ways to look at this, right? Through one side of the equation, you can say this is a guy that's got an MVP on his resume. All he does is win. Lamar Jackson brings swag to your team. He's the leader of the cool kids club. He's got some dog in him, right? He's got some dog. Not cats. We need dogs. And he's got some dog in him. And he increases the value of the franchise, so he's more than worth the money. So that's one side of the argument. Now, the other side of the argument, to play devil's advocate with myself here, the other side of the argument is the counter pitch would be, well, Lamar Jackson has already peaked. We've already seen the greatness of Lamar, and it's been a slow decline in recent years. And NFL teams have started to figure out the weak spots on how to contain him. He has not been an effective postseason player. His style of play is that of a crash test dummy. It is not a sustainable way to perform. So you're looking at diminishing returns. In the last 2 years, Lamar has missed time in both seasons because of various injuries. And did you know, if you combine the last 2 seasons Lamar Jackson's played in, his passer rating is below 90. And he's averaging combined a little over 7 yards per pass, which is average. 7 is the baseline number. Lamar Jackson's at 7.2 yards per pass. And you look at all the bumps and all the bruises that have piled on up. And so which side is going to win? Which argument is more compelling? The way I've seen business go in the NFL in recent years, it's the first part of the argument that Lamar Jackson brings credibility and the wow factor and all that to your team. That ends up winning out. And as Bruce Arians used to say in Tampa, no risk it, no biscuit. So some woebegone franchise will be like, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to throw caution to the wind. And here we go. Whee! Lamar Jackson, that's the way to do it.